Hello everyone. So real quick, I want to share a Baker Creek seed haul that I got for October 1st for fall seeds. This is the first seed haul that I've gotten in the past couple of months, and I just picked up a couple of things with a gift card that I got for my birthday, and I will share that with you real quick. So first we got carrots, and there's a common theme throughout this seed haul, and you'll probably pick up on that, but these are the Pusa Acida black carrot, and I've been wanting to grow these for a couple of years now, but they're always out of stock. And this seed packet says it was overpacked due to poor germination. So we got the black ones, and then another one that we're going to been wanting to grow as well is these red Kayota carrots. And so the red Kayotas are a Japanese sweet red type carrot. Silky red carrots have an exceptional texture and sweet flavors. Slender roots grow 12 to 18 inches. So good planted in late summer, fall, and winter. Not for spring planting. So these are especially good for fall planting, and it's October 1st, so we are going to be planting these today. And for the purple carrots, or tropical black, it says it's bred in India, heat tolerant, and extremely rich in antioxidants. Perfect for hot summers, rich in anthocyanins, and is practically black. Performs better than other carrots in extreme heat, and we do have extreme heat from time to time, even in winter in December. And so I'm really excited about growing these two new breeds of carrot for us. So the next thing that we got is some red onions. These are called Red of Florence, and they are a long day type, rare Italian variety, torpedo shaped, bright yet red onion, and they are good for spring or fall planting, and they are very mild and sweet. So there was a lot of good reviews, even though this is a long day type of onion. There was a lot of good reviews on people that were growing these in the South, because they're not a big bulbing onion. They're like a slender shaped onion. So I wanted to give these a try, because we haven't I don't have any red onions growing right now. So the next thing is the sugar magnolias, and I have grown these before, and this says it's and I really liked when I grew these. I think I grew them back in 2019 or 2020 or both. But they are really easy to see the peas on the plant, and the plant did really well, and it was very nice to be able to have a contrast in between the foliage and the actual pea plant to pick them. So this says a marvelous innovation, the first ever purple podded sugar snap pea. Sweet dusky purple pods, delicious tendrils for salads. So you can use the pea shoots in the salads, these little curly parts, and as well as the sugar snap peas. And we have a purple cabbage. It's called Tete Noir, and this is a traditional French variety, solid deep red, medium-sized heads, good quality, grown as an autumn variety, and we're growing it in autumn. We're going to plant some of these today. Never grown this variety before, so I was really excited. It did have some really good reviews on the website. So this is a brand new variety for us. And then the next one is a butterhead lettuce. So I do have a lot of different lettuce mixes and cabbage mixes and kales and pak choys and stuff like that, but I didn't have any particular new butterhead seeds left, and that's one of my favorite lettuces to grow. And this is a highly refined gourmet butterhead from the Dutch Isles, a compact, silky, soft lettuce that is excellent in so many dishes. It says sow in thick for baby greens or space farther apart for head lettuce. Best grown as a spring or fall crop. So this is called Gustav salad lettuce, and it's a butterhead. And then, so I got these 6 packs of seeds, and then I got a free pack of seeds. So in the free seeds that I got is the Mizuna mustard green, and this is one that they've been showcasing on YouTube here lately. They did a whole show on YouTube showcasing the Japanese Mizuna type lettuces. So this one is a newly developed Japanese heirloom, nutritious purple stems and dark greens. The delicate flavor is unparalleled, adapted to both extreme heat and extreme cold. A small percentage of plants will have smooth mustard-shaped leaves. So this is our free green, and I was really excited that they sent me something that was geared towards the fall garden as my free seed, and we can never have too many greens. So with these 7 packs of seeds, these were free, of course, but it was right around $20 to get these, the varieties that I got, to add some flavor and color to the fall garden. We got a lot of purple stuff: purple carrots, purple onions, purple cabbage, purple peas, and purple Mizuna mustard greens. So that is our fall seed haul from Baker Creek, and I will be also in this video you'll be seeing our garden and how it's going right now. So that's all I got for you today on the seeds, and I'll see you in a little bit about the garden. And real quick, we have a shout out request.
Well, if you're watching this, give us a huge thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.
Bye! Before we go into the garden, I want to show you real quick what's on the growing table. I've started my sugar snap peas and my green garden peas, and looks like we are going to have some growing up. These are all purchased last year or early in the spring, and I have the Burpina peas, the Progress peas, Easy Peasy, all of those are green garden peas. I have the Haas Mr. Big Pea, and the Early Perfection green pea. So that's the sweet garden peas that we have growing right there, or about to be germinating. And then in this tray I have some, I bought 2 packages of microgreens from Dollar General. They were $1 a pack, and each one of those packs contained a very large pack of seeds, and they were mixtures of all different kinds and colors of bok choy, tatsao, red cabbages, broccolis, and stuff like that. So I've just been planting those seeds and then growing them out like regular seeds instead of microgreens, and then planting them out in my garden. So instead of buying all those varieties individually, I had 2 packs. I had the spicy mix and the regular mix. So there was a good, probably at least 12 to 14 varieties of all different kinds of greens, and mustard greens, and cabbages, and broccolis and stuff like that. So I have just been growing those out and planting them in my garden as regular seeds. So that has given me a big variety of all types of greens, really healthy greens, and I only paid $2 for 2 giant packs of seeds and got 14 different varieties of greens to grow out. So that was a very good way to get seeds, and a large variety of seeds for one season. And actually I'll still have plenty of those seeds for next season in the spring as well, in winter. So alright, so moving on, we have some more broccoli that I've planted, succession planted broccoli. These are the DeSico broccoli, and then back here I did some more of the Sun Kings, and then I've already planted some out in my garden that I've started, and then back in this thing right here I have some African daisies and some basil, and then in this container here I got more of the DeSico broccoli, Italian broccoli, and then I have some more of the Sun King broccoli that I've started. So we've got 2 different kinds of broccoli here, and then we have some a little bit older broccoli that we started here, and then some mixed greens and some peas. So we still have a few more tomatoes that we may or may not use left over on the table, but we will go and look at the garden and see what's going on out there. It is very bright out here. The hurricane and everything has passed through, and it didn't get us at all. We're very thankful for that. We barely even got any rain, but now all the clouds are gone and it is bright, sunshiny day on this Saturday, October 1st. So just want to pan around and kind of show you what the garden looks like right now. I'm still working on finishing cleaning up all my beds for fall and getting beds ready and planting them. So there's a lot of transition still going on. So we will start at the front corner. So on my fence here, I have the ones that are starting to grow up the fence are the lima beans, the Christmas limas that I got seed from off of my summer vine that I have that's still producing. And then in between there, a couple weeks ago, I planted in between each one, I put a rattlesnake pole bean in between that are starting to grow up. And then in the front, we have some Progress green beans and some Big Kahuna green beans. So that's the green beans in that bed. And then in this bed right here is my Big Boys summer purple whole peas. And I've been picking these for about a month now, and I'm still getting some here and there. They're starting to peter out because we did have a lot of rain in the last month and it was really hot, but I didn't get as much volume out of this bed as I expected, but they were, you know, really good beans. So it was definitely not a waste of time and space. In this bed here, I've got Waltham broccoli and Sun King broccoli that I have planted out, that I started from seed back a month ago, and which I showed you the video where we planted these seeds together. And then in the front of this bed right here is some of those mixed greens from those microgreen packages, and if I can, I will try to grab those packages and show you what they look like at Dollar General. But there is some kale and some purple pak choi in here, and some mustard greens, looks like. Different kinds of kale and different kinds of greens. I just planted those in the front of the bed, and those are doing well. And then this bed right here, I am taking out. I might end up buying another bed, or I might end up building a new bed here, but it had cinder blocks around it, and I just want to do something new right here. And then back here, I'm just covering that last little area. I've got beans planted to about here, and I cleared that out, and so now I'm clearing out this last section so I can plant some more beans and stuff for winter. We're still transitioning. So in this bed, I have planted in the back, half of it is Jersey early cabbage, and I planted all those from seed a month ago. And then in the front, I did again, I just planted out the microgreens that I started. So here is some, looks like some mustard greens or a bok choy, some more of that purple bok choy, and some kind of kale or curly, some kind of curly kale or mustard right there. So that's what's growing in this bed. Just got some mixed greens and some cabbage in the back. And then right here, we're growing cucumbers again. We have not had success growing cucumbers since probably May. We grew about 4 cucumbers total this whole year. My vines, even when they started out good, they didn't last very long because of pests and rain. We had so much rain this year. So more cucumbers. And these are, I think, some kind of a muncher variety that I picked up from like Lowe's or something. And then in this bed right here, I have some sugar snap peas. And I don't remember what the variety is, maybe Sugar Daddies. And then I have a tomato plant that I planted in here that I grew from seed. And then in this bed back here, we have green zucchini. And I've started these from seed. And they are doing pretty well. I went ahead and covered them up so I couldn't get any moths on them. We have a lot of moths in the garden right now, just dying to lay eggs on everything. Alright, so we'll go to this row. So this is my bed that I grow carrots in the fall. And I went ahead and planted half where that stick is over. Those are Danvers, Cosmic Purples, and a Nantes carrot that I planted in there. And I left that open for our new carrot seeds. Plant some of those purple ones and the red ones in there. So that's what I'll be doing today. And then back in my file drawers, I got some peppers, and these are banana peppers and poblano peppers, and probably I think right here in this little thing is, which my little bird bath has fallen over, or I pushed over by a cat. This is poblanos and Mad Hatter peppers. And then in these three drawers here, I have Georgia collard greens that I planted from seed. And then back in this trough right here, I got some bok choy, and this is miniature bok choy, and then some red beets, Detroit red beets right here. Alright, moving along. I got this whole thing filled with miniature bok choy that I grew from seed, and I'm trying to find 4 more bricks around my property to finish building this bed up another layer. But in the meantime, there's some turnips in there, maybe some rutabagas as well, and then some blue curly kale that I planted from seed. And then back here is some daddle peppers in that little bucket. And then this bed right here has nothing in it so far. And I'm not sure what will be in it, but it's getting ready. And then this bed right here has got peas. And these are the sugar snap peas, and I planted some more. I planted out what I had started. You can see the baby peas right here, right here, right here, right there, right there. I had planted some in those cells and got them started and replanted. Actually, no, I started them all in that tire, and they germinated so well that I had so many extras. I just pulled some out of there and put them in here, and then filled in the blanks with some more peas. So this is our sugar snap peas. They're going to be growing here. And then back here, nothing in this bed yet, still getting it ready. And nothing in this bed back here, still clearing it out. And somewhere through here, I think there's a watermelon plant still growing. And then I've got some 4 different okra plants growing that I've been picking a few okra here from here and there. There's also a tomato plant that I've been getting tomato plants on back here, one of those starts that I got from the feed store. But this is definitely a bed that I have not got to yet. And there's a couple of pineapples growing in my compost section where I have been throwing so much compost. And this bed is only partially planted. So this little section on the end, I planted some Savannah mustard right here. And then on this side, I planted more of the microgreens. So there's all kind of kale and tatsel and bok choy and mustard greens that are planted on this side, and then this whole little section here is Savannah mustard. Then I got some more peppers still growing here, and then we'll move to the middle section. So nothing is growing in these two. I still have some zinnias that are growing, but these beds right here are still empty. Not sure what's going to be planted in them. And then I have my jalapenos and Mad Hatter peppers growing right here. And this looks like it's just one big bush and one small bush that's still growing, but those are Mad Hatter peppers. And then this bed right here, we have volunteer potatoes, and I am needing to go to the store and get some more potatoes so that I can fill this thing up with potatoes for fall. And then in this bed here, in the back section of it, I have tomatillos, purple tomatillos, and then I have a volunteer pumpkin that's come up. And then in this section here, I planted radishes and turnips every other row. On the first row, I did a mixed radish with all different colors of radishes. Then I did some purple top turnips. Then I did the purple radishes that I like so much, the purple plum radishes. More purple top turnips, more purple radishes. And then on the very end over here, I did some red radishes, like some giant crimson radishes. And then where this white stake is, to that middle thing, I planted onion seeds. So I don't see any onions coming up yet, but I do see a couple of radishes coming up. One right there. So that's what we got going in that section of this bed. We got radishes, purple top turnips, and onions, and tomatillos, and a pumpkin plant. This is my sweet potatoes that are still growing. This bed right here is still being worked to get it ready to be planted. I really do want to go get my saw and my drill out and make this one row higher, the way it's taller, before I plant my winter in there, but who knows if that will happen. And then in this bed, I've got green beans, kidney beans that I'm growing out as green beans, which you can see are doing great. So these are the kidney beans that I took out of my pantry and just planted them. And then I came in and after those germinated, I had some room left over in there, and I just planted them with the Big Kahuna green beans that I bought. And there is probably one or two purple hull or cream 40p in there, because we planted this bed over and over again trying to get it to germinate. So getting lots of green beans out of this bed, because the kidney beans and the Great Northern beans and the pinto beans, before they're dry beans, they are snap beans. So I'm growing them for snap beans. And then in this container right here, it used to be over there, and I just moved it here. It is jalapenos. And then behind me, nothing is happening in here except for getting cleared out. I planted this bed, this little tire right here though, the two tires are planted, and I gotta get all this debris out of here so my seeds will germinate. But I planted this in a whole variety of lettuce seeds. So there's black-seeded Simpson, and some Butter Crunch, and some Mizuna mix, and different red lettuces, and all kinds of different ones that I have. And I just mixed them all up and planted them in here. So hopefully we'll have some lettuce. I do see some seeds, little babies coming up in here. So we'll see how this germinates. We may have to put some new seed down in there. But it's looking like there are some coming up. So that's the lettuce. Mixture of lettuce in that little tire there. Nothing, like I said, in this back section. But we did still have this cucumber plant that was growing from the summer that never produced, but it was still alive when I cleaned this bed out. And it is hanging on. Looks like there's something wrong with it. But I went ahead and planted cucumber seeds down here to grow some more cucumbers in here. So there's 1, 2, 3, at least 3 more cucumber plants 4 more that are coming up in here. So I just replanted some cucumber seeds in here with this one little cucumber. And then back here, this is kind of like my chicken garden. All of this section is, you can't hardly see it because all the leaves that got blown here by the hurricane. I'm gonna have to clean it out, but this side is filled with Georgia collard green starts, and this side is filled with Jersey cabbage starts. So there's something wrong with my sprinkler, and it's only doing this section back here and leaving this little back section not being watered, so I'll have to check that out. But I replanted that with Jersey cabbage, collard greens. So nothing, I put the cardboard and cleaned out these beds right here, nothing growing in them. I suspect I'll probably grow some type of spinach or greens in them. Nothing in this back bed. And then these were my purple holes and zipper creams, and I pulled almost all of them already out because they are done. And then right here I have a couple of half runner beans that only like 2 germinated, but this entire mass is like 1 or 2 plants of the half runner, that entire thing that germinated, and it has been pumping out really good beans. And then these are 2 volunteer beans that came up in my grow bags, and I just transplanted them. This is another bean that I planted in here. I think it's probably just a regular green bean. And then I did go in this little corner that didn't germinate, and I planted some of those yellow wax beans, bush beans right here. So we'll see if that comes out. But so far I'm finally getting green beans again. So that's great. So in this bed right here is some more tomatillos. And then this bed doesn't have anything yet. It's still covered up, still working on it, but I am, and I have been, planting my spaghetti squash in here. And I planted 3 of them in here. Let me get this out of here for the storm. So I planted one right here, and one right there, and one right here. And a slug or something already killed this guy right here. But I have 2 more plants that I'm gonna plant down there. And I'm gonna put some Sluggo down in case it's slugs. But that's my spaghetti squash that I plan on planting on this trellis right here on this side. So my spaghetti squash will be planted there, and then the rest will probably be planted in broccoli like usual. And then on the other side of the trellis, these are my Great Northern beans that I got out of the pantry and planted them when I didn't have any good green bean seeds on hand. And so I planted them. So the Great Northern beans are more of a climber, and the kidney beans that I planted are more of a bush type. And the pinto beans that I tried to plant, they didn't do anything. So I have been we are now to the phase where we are getting lots of green beans off of here. You can see all the little babies in this green bean. These green beans are loving this spot. There is just green beans everywhere. So I am super happy that I grabbed a handful of these beans from my pantry and went ahead and planted them back in August, because now I'm getting very healthy, good plethora of green beans again. It's been a while since we got green beans because the dog days of summer wiped my green beans out fast this year. And then along here we have the Big Kahuna green beans that I planted from seed, and they are about to start. They are bush bean. And then along this trellis I have a mixture of indeterminate tomatoes that I planted from the seeds from tomatoes that I was growing during the summer. Once I got done cutting up my tomatoes and putting them in the freezer, I raked the seeds out into a strainer, washed them off, put them on a paper towel, and stuck them in a little plastic container, and then just started planting them. So all these are free tomatoes from my tomatoes that I was already growing. And then down here, which I don't get irrigation over here, so I keep having to water it, but there are a bunch of beets in here. I just got to figure out something that gets more consistent water. They're not dead, they're just not growing super fast, so I need to fertilize these beets again and try to figure out a way to better water them. And there is tomato plants growing in here, and I do like growing tomato plants with beans because the beans will wrap around the tomato plants and hold them up. So we got down here, we got more of those big kahuna beans growing right there, which are pretty much bush beans. So behind me I have my Christmas limas that I've been growing since summer, and I have a couple sweet potatoes growing in here, and it's been putting off a lot of lima beans, and I've been picking these, and now it's the whole vining system has went over there and gotten on top of the peach tree and is using the peach tree to hold itself up. But there is only probably about six lima bean plants in here, and it's taken over this whole trellis. And then my Mexican sunflowers that volunteered back there today, you can see that big old stalk right there. That's the Mexican sunflower. That's that one plant, and it is all the way up to the pear tree or the plum tree, and it has been happy, and the butterflies and the bees have just loved it. Nothing growing in here. I'll probably put some more dirt in there and grow carrots in there again. Might move it to a more sunny location because back here is not super sunny in the winter in this little corner, as you can see from the shade. That was a Mad Hatter pepper. I'm not sure if he was a volunteer or not. He's been there for a long time. And then I got a volunteer tomato right there, and I haven't planted anything else in these two beds yet. And then this is a pepper that I need to move because now that the seasons have changed, it's not getting enough sunlight anymore. And those are different kind of peppers. They're like jalapenos and some Santa Fe Grandes and some of those snacking peppers. Alright, and coming over here, my long bed of purple whole peas is just about done. And I would really love to plant a whole row of potatoes right here, but I'm not sure what it's going to end up being. But I got tons of purple whole peas and zipper cream peas out of that row, and I'm really happy that I planted it this year. So this row right here, again, we planted tomatoes. So all different varieties of our tomato seeds that came from all the different tomatoes that we planted in the spring. And then right here we have another row of zipper creams and purple hulls that are on their way out. You can see all the weeds are starting to take over, but they're just about done. And then in this bed here is newly planted. We have the cucumbers. And I want to see, that's probably an old, let's see if I did the variety of cucumbers. So I transplanted the cucumbers after I started them in cells over there on the table. And then I came in, and these two beans that are bigger, these are volunteer, because earlier in the summer, if you may remember, I planted cucumbers and yellow wax beans. So I planted cucumbers next to the trellis here, and then on the outside on the edge I planted yellow wax beans, and they came up and they all did great. For a little while the cucumbers did great until it started raining too much, but I just redid that again. So these two volunteers, and then I planted all these yellow wax beans from seed along the edge. Got the cucumbers on the inside, and same thing on this side, which I didn't have very many to go on this side left, so I just went ahead and planted seeds of cucumbers so they would come up and fill in. And then all of these are my yellow wax beans. So this whole bed is filled with cucumbers and yellow wax beans again. And this back corner I did not even mess with this whole summer or fall. This is my berry bush. This is my next big project. I have to clean this whole thing out. And then I have two of these troughs that I can that are empty that I can plant in. And then so far for this bed, I never planted in the back section of it. I only planted in the front. It was in a very good location. As far as sun goes, these peppers were very happy. Have produced lots of peppers for me. But I want to get my saw out and take this bottom piece out and cut it and make it just a 2-tiered system, because I never planted in the top sections because it was too hard to reach, especially with tall things in the front. So that's what I want to do. I want to transplant these peppers and shorten this to where it's just 2 beds here, and then it'll be a lot more user friendly for me to work with. And sometimes you just got to try things out and see how they work out to see how you need to modify them. So this bed right here is the last of my indeterminate tomatoes that I have that I planted out from my seeds, and they are behind the other ones because they got planted later because it took me longer to get this bed ready to plant them, but they seem like they're doing pretty good. So that is the garden right now, and real quickly I'll give you an update on the grow backs. Before we leave the garden, we'll do another quick pan around so you can see what she's looking like on October 1st, 2022. And real quick, I'll show you our chicken situation. So we hatched out 2 batches of chickens, and this year, it looks like these guys are ready for some more food this morning. But we have in here, see if I can get, I have to go to the other side so you can see in. So we had a hen that hatched out 3 of these, and that the big rooster right there, at least it might be a hen, but that one's definitely a rooster. So these 2 big golden ones, and then in the middle there's a Bantam mix, or Cochin Bantam mix rooster, and I had a hen hatch them out. And then we had we hatched out these 2 smaller golden ones in our incubator. We actually hatched out 9, and we had a we went and purchased, my son went and purchased some chicks from Tractor Supply and brought them home, and he bought 5 of them, and they brought something home, and almost all of them died, and the only one left was this little guy right here. He is a speckled Sussex. And so that wiped out our little clutch. It had all but 2, and then 1 of them from Tractor Supply lived. So we got some medication for them, got them all well, but that's what we got. Those 3 little ones are what's left of like 13 biddies that we had from our incubator hatch and a Tractor Supply purchase. And then from the feed store, we got this Lavender Splash Americana hen that is, let me see if I can focus, right there. And then there's also a blue Americana down there hen that we got from the feed store. So that's that pen. There are 5 big ones and 3 little ones, so there's 8 in that pen. And then this is our second incubator hatch for the fall over here. There was 13, and now there is 9, because we had a snake that came out here and tried to eat a couple of them, and he was not big enough to eat them. He ended up spitting them out. But anyway, we lost a couple of them for a snake attack, but there's still 9 in here. There was 13, and then these are just ones that we hatched from our incubator, from our flock of chickens, our mixed flock of chickens. And there are some roosters in here, like that's a little black rooster back there. This one has got feather legs, so I think he's part Cochin Bantam and probably part some kind of mixed hen that we have, full-size hen. And then you can see over there, so there's several black ones, there's a white one, and a few gold ones. So that's our fall. And then I went to start some more eggs about a week and a half ago, and the little red incubator that we have quit working. So we either have to pull out one of our old homemade incubators or do a smaller clutch. But I wanted to start some before it got cold so that they could go outside without having to worry about freezing. So there's Darla, the American Bulldog. All right. Hey, Darla. Hey, girl. Are you a good girl? She's so happy. Happy, happy, happy. All right. I know it. It's not about you. It's not about you. Okay. So anyways, here in our grow bag, we got our pepper plants growing from seed. There's some cayenne peppers and some jalapeno peppers. I got banana peppers, a lot of banana peppers growing back there. I've been picking some off here. And then we got some tomato plants I've been picking tomatoes off of. I keep having to stake them back up. They're supposed to be determinate tomatoes, but they sure as heck are not. And then we got our cardinal basil and our shizu, more peppers. All these are peppers we grew from seed from our peppers we were already growing. And we got some datil peppers that we got from the feed store. And I got a few radishes in here. I'm gonna pull these bags out and fill them full of carrots, the ones that are empty. And then we have a pumpkin plant. You can see it growing here. And we have a pumpkin. And then right here we have another datil pepper plant growing, and some chives. And then in these big buckets over here, I've got my determinate Roma and beefsteak tomatoes that I started from seeds that I got from Lowe's. And they are just getting started in here, and I have some basil in here as well. And there's a basil plant, some more tomatoes. So there's a poblano pepper. It's got a bunch of poblanos on it. So just these little grow bags in here. I've been getting peppers and tomatoes and basil and datil peppers out of them. So that's all we got going on in the farm right now. And this is October 1st, 2022. Hope you enjoyed looking at all the things that we're growing right now in fall. And I will talk to you soon.